Hello group. Today I am going to show you guys how you can work on the each individual channel of an image to process just that channel. And what that'll do is give you a lot more flexibility in your post-processing of your RGB images. I go back to my DSLR days, and with the DSLR not being actually a camera that was ever made for astroastronomy imaging, you would have certain problems that would crop up just because they were never designed to image the night sky. And one of those would be that in the blue channel that you would get star bloat. And if you looked at the image, you would see that there was like a little blue halo around some of the brighter stars. And then in the because of the Bayer filter that was in that is in the DSL cameras, the green channel was horrendous as far as noise goes. I mean, it was it was pretty bad. So you would have to work on each channel to clean up before you even started post-processing. Because if you didn't, you were just amplifying those problems. So I have never, from the time I got these cameras from Rock, I've never looked at the individual channels. So, and the reason why this kind of hit me all of a sudden was that I was going back through some of my old images and realized that that's what I used to do, and I don't know why I never even thought of looking at each individual channel with Rock's cameras. Now, of Rock's cameras being different than a DSLR, we're going to have different problems. And until we actually look at the channels, we aren't going to know what those problems are. So let's start to do that now. What I'm going to do is we'll work on Mr. Eagle here. This is a pretty good image to look at. I have, you'll notice I use the L-enhanced, and the L-enhanced gives you a little bit of a shift in the red channel. And that's that red halo. And basically that's the star has moved, and I'll show you that and how we could fix it if we wanted to. So I'm just going to crop this guy to get rid of my drift so that we have good signal to work on. We'll go up and crop them. Get rid of the... So now we'll just zoom in to 400%, which is where you would be in Malachim Sky if you just use your scroll wheel. And we'll look around the image. And this image is pretty good as far as noise goes for what I was doing on this particular day. You can see the little bit of the red halo here, and that is actually the red channel stars have moved down. And I blame that on the filter, not the camera. I used the L-enhanced just to make sure that you can see it here, 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 here. I think that's the filter. So when we look at each channel, I'll show you how on the brighter objects the image shifts a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is in Photoshop, if your channels aren't showing, you'll want to go up to your window view and click on channels. And that'll open up the channel box, and then if it's outside of the window, like that, just drag it over here and it'll place it out of the way if you have your toolbars open. So the first channel we'll look at is the red channel, and we are seeing some noise. Wow. That's more noise than I thought we would see. And just to show you the shift, I will jump between the red and the green channel, and you can see how the stars have jumped. That's a lot. It's more than I figured. But we aren't really going to do anything about that right now. We're just looking at the noise. So I will go here. We have a nice bright area to a dark area, and you can see that as the in the red, we go from kind of good noise to kind of bad noise. I'm going to the green channel, and as I said in the DSLR days, the green channel would have been terrible. You would have gotten all kinds of what I call it like the rainbow effect of noise, where you had red, greens, all kinds of funky stuff going on in here in the noise. And that's because the green was so noisy. And this isn't too bad. It's better than the red. Now we'll go to the blue. And the blue is noisy. This is kind of weird. Huh. So, what are we going to do about this? Well, we could process the channel here, but that's not what you want to do. You want to process this channel on its own. And how we're going to do that is we're going to zoom out, select the whole image, and then we're going to copy it. Then we're going to make a new layer or a new image. We're going to make it 16-bit. We're going to create, I'm going to paste that image in. We're going to go back to here, and I'm just going to make sure that this is at 16-bit, which it wasn't there. Okay. The reason why you want it at 16-bit is the camera raw filter likes 16-bit. And with those extra bits, you can do more things before the image starts to clip, or you run into problems by how far you're pushing your items of interest. So now that we have the green channel on its own as its own image, I'm going to zoom in 400%. We'll stay here, and I'm going to open up the camera filter. Excuse me, a little hoarse today. Had a game last night. And we'll zoom in 400%. And we're going to go to the Details tab, and we're going to look for the noise reduction and grab the luminance slider and just drag it to the left, or right, I'm sorry. And you could see that by doing this, we're reducing the noise substantially. And I'm kind of liking 32. I don't want to go too far. And that's really helped quite a bit. An awful lot. It's helped a lot. So I'm going to say okay to this. And you can see if I open up the history box and you just look right below the box, you can see that we've removed a lot of noise. So I'm going to zoom out, select all, copy, go back to my original image, make sure that the blue layer is selected, and I'm going to paste that in to my blue channel, and we'll zoom in. And you could see our noise is gone. So I'll just click there, and you can see the noise, and the noise is substantially reduced. Well, this is cool. Okay, so now I want to go to the green channel, And I want to do the same thing. I want to copy. I'm going to go to my image that I'm doing all my work on, and I'm going to paste it in. And then I'm going to flatten it, just to make sure that there's nothing in there but my green channel. And I'm going to go to filter, and make sure before I do that it's still 16-bit. And I can tell that because this channel isn't quite as noisy, we don't need to push it as far. So I'm going to go to 24 on this one, and I like it. Yep. Oops, sorry. I'll say OK. And you can see, looking right in here, how we've affected the noise. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to select all. I'm going to copy it. Make sure I'm on the green channel. I'll zoom in. And I'll hit paste. And you can see that if you look right in here, when I go back, we've gotten rid of the noise. So now on this red channel, I'm going to zoom out, grab the red. We already know that the stars have shifted a little bit. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go there. And I'm going to make sure that I have my background. I'm in the layer mode. And then I'm in the background. And I'm going to check the opacity on this down a little bit. And then I'll zoom in. And make sure that I have move selected. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten this layer. I'm going to go back to my so we don't have to do quite as much on this one noise wise. Let's make sure I'm at 16-bit mode. Go to filter. Oh, you know what I did? Good dummy. My bad, sorry. I want to bring the opacity back up. There we go. Now I want to flatten it. Sorry. Now I want to go into my filter. And because I'm in 16-bit mode, you'll notice that Photoshop is not quite as snappy as it once was, but that's okay. I want this thing to look great. All right, so we're at 400%. We're going to go to our luminance, and I think 24 is probably going to be good here too. Yeah, I can live with that. It's more just to show you guys what can be done. So we'll zoom back out. We'll select all, copy. Oops, sorry. Go into channels, red, and I will zoom in. Now my red channel is going to be off a little bit. And when I paste, you can see that there's that shift. So if everything worked out as planned, you'll notice that now I no longer have that red halo. I may have gone just a little too far, but that's okay. And if I zoom out, I may have to crop again. Yeah, I've got a little border here, but that's okay for what we're doing. And then if we zoom into this image and just take a look at the noise, it is just a gorgeous image now. That we'll go back to the beginning. So that's the original. Turn it off. See if I could get both of them in the same spot here. I guess not. Huh. But you can see the noise difference just in this area here. And this image is now ready to start processing on. So we'll make a layer. We'll call it levels. We'll go up to the level adjustment layer. And because I'm in 16-bit mode, you'll notice that things can be pushed a lot differently. Than they could if you were in 8-bit mode. Now I didn't select a color, but that's okay. I kind of like this anyways. If we look at the individual channels, they aren't too far off. I think they're pretty good. So now I can go in and make my curves. Do a quickie curve adjust. Oops, son of a gun. Using my new And I've used this one just to bring back the stars. And then maybe one more level, just to see what happens. And you can see that just by playing with the curves and levels, we've done some really cool things in here. And I haven't even gone into camera raw yet. So I hope you this turns a light bulb on for you guys. There's a lot more you can do with your image processing program than just tweaking levels and curves and then playing with filters. You can actually work on the channels, and by working on the channels before you even start to work on the image, you're going to be a lot farther ahead, because you're going to get rid of the noise in each channel first, and then when you start tweaking that noise, because you got rid of that noise, you can push your desired effect a lot further. That's sometimes good, that's sometimes bad, but that'll let you, it will at least let you play and not induce more noise. Now with everything that I've done, if I zoom in, this image is still beautiful from a noise standpoint. I mean, it's gorgeous. Got a little bit noisier, but you know what? I could go back into camera raw. And now that I'm working on the whole image, I can reduce the noise again. I don't need to take it as far. And you can see when that clicked in, the noise, I got rid of the noise again. So I hope this stirs the imagination of the possibilities that are available to you with a, you know, whether it's a free, or you're using Photoshop, or you're using CorelDRAW, whatever you have available to you, there are some endless possibilities. And with winter coming and cloudy nights, if you want to look at the stars, grab your old images and start playing with them. That's all I have for now, group. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you in the group.